welcome to another episode of the Chaos Chronicles.
Navigating the randomness.
I'm Jess.
I'm Connie.
And welcome back to another Breaking Dawn episode.
Yes, indeed. Before we get too deep into things, just a reminder, you can find us on all of our social media. They are linked in the description below. Apologies, we have cat antics going on behind the camera, and it is very entertaining.
He won't stop.
You know, he's just vibing.
He's been going all night.
Honestly, I wish I had the energy for 3 hours and 22 minutes of nonstop chaos. I don't
either, but Bear does. And I'm sure you will see him at some point in this episode because he's been making an appearance in every episode thus far.
Yeah, he has.
He has.
That's okay.
Okay.
Quick summary. All right. Well, you should go watch last week's episode if you haven't, because what was that?
They're going to share Bella.
Yeah, Edward's like, she just really wants a child. Can you convince her to get rid of this one? And then, like, you can impregnate her? Like, what? I don't. So here we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, chapter 10, again, not really a chapter title, but here we are. Why don't I just walk away? Oh, right, because I'm an idiot. That is the chapter 10 title. Is it fitting? Sure. Is it a chapter title, though?
No.
When they get back inside, Edward tells them that they are going to let Jacob and Bella talk alone. Rosalie hisses and is protecting Bella. Bella tells Rosalie it's fine, Jake won't hurt them. She should go with Edward. Rosalie thinks it's a trick, but Bella doesn't see how. Edward assures her that Carlisle and he will be right in her sight. After all, they're the ones that she's protecting Bella from. Once they're alone, Jacob takes her cold, frail hands in his, and she thanks him. Jacob tells her he won't lie. She's hideous. Bella agrees that she is scary looking. Jacob asks what she's thinking. Bella assumes that Edward asked Jacob to come and yell at her. And, well, that is sort of true, but Jacob still can't understand why he thinks that Bella will listen to him. Bella wonders why and agrees if Jacob doesn't think it'll work. Jacob didn't respond. He really didn't know why. Bella breaks the silence. She believes that this will work out. Jacob snaps. Is dementia one of her symptoms?
Sorry.
I mean, fair enough.
I'm just imagining, she's like, I'm pregnant and I'm just happy you're here. And he's like, you're hideous. And you're dumb.
That is pretty much the 2-second conversation of this, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. But Bella isn't saying it'll be easy. She's lived through so much already that she has to believe in magic. Jacob isn't sure what she's talking about, and Bella tells him that Edward told her once about imprinting, and it's like magic. He will find who he is looking for, and then Jacob will understand. Jacob snaps again. What was the point of loving Bella, or Bella loving him? When she dies, how is that right? She'll kill Edward too. Not that Jacob cares. So what's the point of this? There isn't any sense in this. Bella doesn't know what the sense is, but she feels like this is good, and it's having faith. She won't die, and she will keep her heart beating. Bella asks if Jacob knows Esme jumped off a cliff when she was human. She was so close to being dead, they just took her to the morgue, and Carlisle found her with her heart still beating. It finally made sense. Bella wasn't planning on making it out of this human. The emergency of vampirization worked for Esme, Emmett, Rosalie, and even Edward. Jacob begs her begs her not to do it this way. Don't do this to him. Don't do this to Edward. She knows what he will do when she dies. She's already seen it. Bella takes a deep breath. She won't kill him. It's not right. Kill him, the baby. Jacob is furious. Oh, it's a boy. He should have brought balloons. I like the sassiness that Jacob is bringing, and it's so much better than what I'm saying, but
No, I'm envisioning Taylor Lautner delivering it.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, this is going well, because you know what? Somebody needs to be the not upright, rigid.
That, you know what that just reminded me of? So Taylor Lautner's wife, Taylor Lautner, she
I love that.
she posted a video, and I saw this on TikTok, of how she's like, did we marry our childhood, like her younger self asking older self, did we
I've seen
marry
that
him?
trend. Yeah.
And she's like, who? Edward Cullen, of course. And she said, no, but close. And then in the comments, Taylor Lautner said, that's okay, I'm used to being second choice. Or something like that. It
Are you taking second to Edward? Oh my god, I love it.
Oh, yeah. That's what that reminded me of. I figured you would appreciate
I
that.
honestly love it. I love it.
Oh. Okay, so getting back to this.
I know. I'm just like parsing through thinking of that, and then I'm thinking of like all the other drama that was surrounding the cast, and focus on this.
Oh boy.
Focus on this.
So Jacob asks, when did Bella suddenly want to be a mom? It doesn't make sense. Quote, it's not like that. I didn't really care about having a baby. It's, well, this baby. End quote. Jacob tells her it's a killer. When she tries to deny it, Jacob continues, she can say whatever to the bloodsuckers, but she won't fool him. She knows she won't make it. Bella gasps and clenches her stomach. In doing this, her sweatshirt moved, and Jacob could see her purple and black spotted stomach. Bella defended the baby, saying he's just strong. Jake continues to beg her to not do this and continues, if she just keeps herself alive, she can try again. Yes, all of his babies would be like this. Bella got more confused and Jacob couldn't continue. Bella then says she wouldn't want to do artificial insemination and have some stranger's baby. But that's not what Jacob meant. Bella asks if Edward told him to say that. No, he didn't, not really. Well, he didn't say anything about the artificial whatever. Bella couldn't believe that Edward would trade this. Jacob tells her she could make him happy again, and Jacob does really think that Edward's losing it. Bella didn't seem to be listening, though. After a while, she asked what Edward told him exactly. Jacob tells her he just thought she would listen to Jacob, and that's all. Bella doesn't buy it, and then it hits her. Wow, he would really do anything. She is actually surprised that Jacob didn't start off with that to get Edward in trouble. There isn't much Jacob wouldn't do for Bella. She doesn't understand why. She doesn't deserve either of them. But Bella is set. She can't explain in a way that he can understand, but she can't hurt him, the baby. She loves him. Jacob stands up and Bella pleads for him to not go. She asks why he decided to come today. He was coming to see if Bella was really alive. Bella asks if he'll come back before, but doesn't continue. He tells her he won't hang around to just watch her die. Bella flinches and says he's right. As Jacob exits, she tells him bye and love you, Jake. Jacob wanted to turn around and start begging again, but he knew he had to quit before she killed him like she was going to kill Edward. He instead responded, sure, and left. On his way out, he didn't run into any vampires and he ignored his motorcycle and just phased. When he phased, all 8 voices were waiting for him and were relieved. The alpha voice of Sam ordered Jacob to come home now. They all saw the horror of Bella, Edward's face, and Rosalie guarding her, and no one had anything to say. Jacob was halfway home before anyone recovered and started running to him. Their thoughts were overwhelming. What does this mean? What is it? This is dangerous, and they can't allow it. Then it turned, the treaty doesn't cover this. This puts everyone in danger. Jacob tried to make sense of all of this. They feared it too. They can't let protecting Bella influence them. They have their families and community to think about. If the vampires won't kill it, they will before it's too late. They started to make a plan of attack. Jacob tries to interject that they don't know if it's dangerous, it's just a baby. The only one who's in danger here is Bella. Sam points out she is in danger from her own choice, but now it affects all of them. They can't take the chance. Seth was supporting Jacob and suggests telling the Cullens to leave. Jacob asks how they plan on killing the baby without killing Bella. They were all silent. She is human, though. The protection applies to her, too. In response, Leah thinks she's dying anyways. They'll just shorten the process. Jacob jumped to Leah, and Sam grabbed him before he could and orders them to stop. Quote, "You will not be cruel to him, Leah," he commanded her. "Bella's sacrifice is a heavy price, and we will all recognize that. It is against everything we stand for to take a human life. Making an exception to that code is a bleak thing. We will all mourn for what we do tonight." End quote. Seth is shocked. They should think about it and at least consult with the elders. Sam tells him that there is no time for debate. Seth will do as he is told. They need the whole pack for this, and Jacob is their strongest fighter. He will fight with them tonight. Since this will be hard, he should focus on Emmett and Jasper, who are the fighters. He won't need to be involved with the other part. Quill and Embry will be with him. Paul, Jared, and Sam will take Edward and Rosalie since they will be protecting Bella. Brady, Colin, Seth, and Leah will concentrate on Carlisle, Alice, and Esme. Whoever has a clear line on the creature will take it. Destroying the creature is their first priority. The pack nervously agrees. Seth and Jacob were the only ones with teeth bared and flattened ears. Seth's nose almost touched the ground, bowing under Sam's commands. Jacob felt the pain of disloyalty from Seth. Seth truly became the vampire's friend. But Seth would obey. He had no other choice, and neither did Jacob. Sam never pushed his authority like that before, but he wouldn't force this if he didn't believe that he had any other choice and believes that this is enough to die for. Having this all laid out in front of him made Jacob realize that Seth was right earlier. This wasn't a fight that he was ready for. He was so blinded by hate. Jacob thought of Carlisle. Killing him would be murder. He was good as any human that they protected, maybe even better. Maybe the others as well, but he didn't know them as well as Carlisle. Carlisle would hate fighting back, even to save himself. That's why they would be able to kill him. He wouldn't want them to die.
Aww.
This was wrong. Sam ordered Jacob to pull it together. The tribe comes first. Jacob tells him he was wrong today. Sam agrees his reasons were, but now they have a duty. Jacob braces himself and says no. Sam snarls and says he's the alpha. Sam snarls and says he's in the alpha decree. Quote, "There are no loopholes tonight. You, Jacob, are going to fight the Cullens with us. You, with Quill and Embry, will take care of Jasper and Emmett. You are obligated to protect the tribe. That is why you exist. You will perform this obligation." My shoulders hunched as the edict crushed me. My legs collapsed, and I was on my belly under him. No members of the pack could refuse the alpha. End quote. And end of chapter 10. That chapter was okay. I will say, after reading that chapter, I was like, oh, are we actually going to get a good book? There is hope there because this was such a good chapter.
It was. I am. Here we go. He's making every episode. Honestly, I don't remember enough of the details to tell you otherwise, and there's a couple of things that I know you're gonna hate. I don't know. We'll see. It's been too long since I've read.
Well, that was a really good chapter.
That was.
I was like, wow, that chapter went by so fast, and that's me even taking notes, which it usually goes by painfully slow because I'm taking notes, but that was a really good chapter.
That was.
And that was like the first example of Sam using the alpha powers.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is really going to mess things up.
We're still doing one more chapter this
yes,
episode,
we are.
Right? All right. Let's get into chapter 11.
All right. You ready for this obnoxious title?
Let's have it.
The 2 things at the very top of my things I never want to do list.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, this does feel like it would be the caption heading in a 15/25-year-old's journal. I really don't know what to call him because he's government-wise, he's 15, but he's been aged 25. But like this is complicated.
It is very complicated, and I don't know how to answer that.
I don't either.
Okay. Jacob remained on the ground while the others got into formation. Jacob fought the compulsion even though he knew it was useless. They wouldn't all make it through this. Who would be lost? Jake eventually got to his feet, and all their minds went through the nights they'd spent watching the Cullens train. Emmett was the strongest, but Jasper would be the biggest problem. Quill offers to take point. When Jake doesn't answer, Quill nudges him. He couldn't concentrate. Jake saw Seth behind Cullen, Brady, and Leah. Leah took point, and she ignored Seth while planning with the others. Embry suggests Jake stop resisting, and Quill tells him to just focus on their part, just taking down the big ones. Embry reminds Jake there's no point in fighting it. He would end up doing what Sam wanted. What if Sam was wrong, though? There was nothing anyone could do. There was no one to dispute his decision. Suddenly, Jake knew. No one could dispute the Alpha's decision except him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will say these 2 chapters so far, my favorite of this book. And I feel like it's going to be hard to top this.
Girl, a lot's going to happen.
I know, because we are only this far into the book. This is the beginning side.
Yeah.
We're not even halfway. We're not even halfway.
Yeah, no, you're like 30%.
I am 224 pages into a 754 page book.
224 divided by 750.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm good. 29.86, round up to 30%.
Oh, heck yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I nerd on my numbers.
That's fine.
And yet, I should be so much better at math.
Same.
All right. It's fine.
So we're only 30% of so I know, I mean, I don't know, obviously. I'm sure a lot of things happen, but in my mind, these 2 chapters are going to be hard to top because, I was really excited about these ones. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
No one leave any spoilers in the comments. Jess needs organic reactions to everything, okay?
And I was told the chapters that I have to record, and if they end up not being great reactions, I just don't post them. So, yeah.
Valid.
Yeah. Okay, so no, he didn't earn anything, but things had been born into him that Jacob didn't claim. He didn't want to lead the pack. He didn't want that responsibility. Sam would be better than he ever could be, but he was wrong tonight. And Jake wasn't born to kneel to him. The bonds fell off of him once he embraced his birthright. He felt the freedom. An alpha was only as strong as his pack, and Jake had no pack. Sam can't believe that he's doing this for Bella. She has never chosen him, and yet he still throws his life away for her. Jacob isn't sure, but he does know that Sam would destroy the pack over her. No matter who survives, they will all be murderers. He knows what Sam decided, but he won't decide for him anymore. Sam tries to use the alpha voice again to force Jacob back, but the demand was weightless. He wasn't born to follow him. Sam tells him that even if he defeats him, the pack would never follow him. But Jacob isn't planning on fighting Sam. He isn't telling him to step aside, and unlike Sam, he will never take anyone's will away from them. Jacob then noticed he grew a few inches taller than Sam. Sam was challenging Jacob. There cannot be more than one alpha, and the pack chose him. Jacob's body was responding, but he focused his energy and was controlling his reaction. There is only one alpha for this pack, and Jacob is choosing to go his own way. Sam asks if he belongs to a coven now. Jacob doesn't know, but he will stand between him and the Cullens. He can't just watch the pack kill innocent people. The pack is better than that. Sam needs to lead them in the right direction. Jacob took off. He had to warn them. Suddenly, Jacob heard thoughts behind him, not in chase, but following. It was Seth asking for Jacob to wait up. His legs weren't as long as Jacob.
We love Seth.
Oh, I love Seth so much. This chapter made me love Seth so much. Seth was excited. Jacob tells him to leave, and Seth challenges him, asking if that's an order. It isn't. Seth keeps pushing back and then tells Jacob he notices it's really quiet and the others haven't phased back. So it's just the two of them. That must mean that separate packs aren't linked together and they are a pack of their own now. But since they can't hear the others, they should get going before Sam and the others catch up to them. They come up with a plan if the pack catches up to them, since neither of them thinks they can fight them. Seth is optimistic, though. They won't want to actually fight them either. Jacob is annoyed by all of his optimism. They are running for the Cullens, and Jacob wonders if Edward can hear him yet, and then starts calling for Edward in his head.
I'm just imagining, Eddie boy! Yo, Eddie!
Oh, yep.
That's what I would be doing.
Yep. Jacob feels stupid, and Seth exclaims that he sounds stupid too.
Oh, love it.
I never knew how much I needed Seth in this story until now.
Seth is the equivalent of us doing a nice Who Knows What Wednesday episode every now and then. It just makes everything better.
It does.
It does. Go Seth. Okay, you have your Team Charlie shirt. I need to find a Team Seth shirt.
Yes. We need to get you a Team Seth shirt.
Did I say shirt or shirt? I don't know.
I don't know, but it was supposed to be shirt.
It was supposed to be shirt. It's a long day.
And then we'll wear those while watching the last movie. Oh, but there's
Movies.
two of them. Ew.
It's going to be a long day.
So they are less than a mile out, so Jacob gives a warning out. When they broke through the trees, Edward was on the porch with Emmett and Jasper asking what was going on. To answer, Jacob just thinks of all that had happened. Edward snarls that they want to kill Bella. Since Emmett and Jasper missed the other parts of the conversation, they flash to Edward's side. Seth backs away, and Edward tells them, not them, the others, the pack is coming.
Yeah, Eddie, you need to make that clear.
Yeah, well, he's not doing good right now.
You're defending Eddie boy.
Well, okay, I'm just
Oh my god, it's 8:20 p.m. on the 27th. Oh my word.
In my defense, my brain kind of starts shutting down at 8 p.m. This is my bedtime, Connie.
Oh, so this is not a true defense.
And also, I do want to say it's also like the mental health defense of me being like, you're not in the right mindset because you're so under so much stress. And yes, I do go to bed at 8 p.m. because I work between 3 and 5 a.m. So
Yeah.
I felt the need to add that.
Yes.
So this might be the one and only time I defend Edward. Seth tells him he will go and look and run the western perimeter. They will be less likely to challenge him, and Jacob needs to start coordinating. Quote, "This isn't the first time I've owed you my gratitude, Jacob," Edward whispered. "I would never have asked for this from you." When it came to Bella, there were no lines he wouldn't cross. Yeah, you would. That was Jacob thinking. He thought about it and then nodded. I suppose you're right about that. I sighed heavily. Jacob thinking, well, this isn't the first time I didn't do it for you. Right, he murmured. End quote. I just like their little, when they can actually
Agree.
agree and get along.
Oh, it's like the tent scene from Eclipse all over again.
It is. It is.
But more of a less animosity. Not animosity directed at each other this time. Kind of. A little different, but we're getting it.
Yeah. Edward tells Jacob that Bella is worse. Alice asks if Jacob can phase. She wants to know what's going on. Edward immediately answers for Jacob that he needs to stay linked to Seth. Alice then asks if Edward can at least explain what's going on. And so he does. At this, Alice hisses, and Emmett and Jasper exchange a glance and then keep their eyes across the trees. Seth is back. He didn't see anyone, but he is going to do a loop to see if they're going around. Carlisle and Esme are on their way back and should be here in 20 minutes. Jasper suggests that they take up defense positions. Edward agrees, and Jacob tells him he will go run the perimeter with Seth, and if Edward can no longer hear him, wait for his howl. Seth still isn't finding much. Jacob still isn't with him. There is something gaining on Seth. It's a vampire, and he recognizes the scent. He tells Jacob he will phase to explain what's going on. Jacob tries to tell him it isn't a good idea, but Seth was already gone. Jacob started running in his direction. Not even 2 minutes later, Seth is back in Jacob's head. It was Carlisle and Esme. Carlisle thanked him. Seth asked why Jake is so down. He doesn't think that Sam will bring the pack tonight. It would be a suicide mission after all. But that's not it. He thinks Bella will die anyways. Seth mentions Edward's name, and memories fly to Jacob's brain without thinking, and Seth starts howling with laughter.
I'm sure.
I'm sure, but Jacob tells him to shut up because everybody is waiting for a howl for the signal. So now everybody at the house thinks that the whole pack is coming.
Oh no.
Yep. Seth abruptly cuts off. Jacob tells him to take the circle. He has to go, let them know that it was a false alarm, and tell them that Seth is young and just forgot no one is attacking. Everything is fine. Jacob sees Edward and thinks there is nothing out there. Did you understand? Edward nods, and Jacob wishes that this wasn't a one-sided conversation, but also he wouldn't want to be in Edward's head either. Jacob can hear in the house Edward explaining the false alarm. Emmett grumbles it's nice to have toddlers guarding the fort. Carlisle tells him they have done them a great service and made a personal sacrifice for them. Emmett knows this, though. He just is jealous and wishes that he was out there with them.
Okay, I feel like Emmett and Seth actually will have a good relationship.
I feel that too. I feel like they could vibe together very well. Edward tells them Seth doesn't think Sam will attack now since they're warned and the pack is down 2 members, but Jacob isn't as optimistic. The house was quiet and Jacob paced outside. Jacob jumped up and standing on his hind legs to peek inside into the front room. The glass was gone and there was metal now. All of the furniture was out of the way, and Bella was sleeping in a hospital bed with monitors on her and a thick white fluid pumping into her. Propofol? Are you kidding me? Propofol. Do you know what propofol is?
I'm recognizing the name, but I'm not remembering what it is.
Basically, so propofol is used IV for them to sedate you, for surgeries and stuff like that. It's a very quick, reactive one. It's also, once they turn it off, you will wake up pretty fast. So it's used a lot in shorter procedures.
And it's a thick white fluid?
It's a thick white fluid. And that is, to my knowledge, there's probably something else. But in my mind, that is the only thick white milky fluid. Like, everyone knows when you see something white dripping into an IV, it's propofol.
Interesting. Is Bella supposed to be asleep at that point? Okay,
So Bella is like asleep, but why is she on a propofol drip? Why are you having her sedated?
Is she not? I'm trying to remember, like, maybe we get it in Bella chapters, but is she not, like, able to sleep because of the pain? And so this is, like, the only way to get her sleep?
I know, but it also affects, the propofol also affects respiratory drive. When you give propofol, respiratory drive goes down.
Yeah, which is why you have the anesthesiologist that have to monitor.
That, and they might have to start bagging you. They might intubate you.
Okay, question. Okay, this is not the first time Stephanie has not done well with medical.
It just...
Remember the neck brace?
I know, but it's like, of all things, and she's done this several times. I can't remember why now that I got upset about medical things, but I remember being upset with medical things.
Yes.
But, like, why propofol? Why? I just want to know the reasoning. Like, if
maybe
you want
she
to...
saw it? Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Maybe, yeah. Like, if you want her to sleep... I mean, is it because that's the only, like, distinct one that you know?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If she, like, saw somebody in the hospital that was, like, under and, like, intubated, and they're probably like, oh, yeah, propofol, it's, you know, what keeps you sleeping. And she's like, oh, it keeps you sleeping. Like, that's what Bella had. Like, I don't know. I'm taking a guess.
Yeah, my brain broke in that moment. I'm just going to say that. I read that. I'm like, are you kidding me? Propofol?
I get it. I've actually stopped reading. Wow, I'm horrible. I have stopped reading a couple of web series, and they were like mafia, like crime based ones. I've stopped because I'm like, that is not how that would work as a matter of law.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is no. I'm done. I'm taken out of the story. I can't do it anymore. Same thing with a couple of stories where it's like, oh, the female lead is on birth control, and oh, I'm unexpectedly pregnant as a female lead, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, who wrote this? How does that work? I mean, like, yeah, it technically could happen, but like, the one that really bugged me is like, she made this big deal saying like, oh, I went and got an IUD and like, I've had it in me and like, blah blah blah, and like, oh, I slept with him and now I'm pregnant. And I was like, I'm done with this series. I can't.
There's so many okay, well,
sorry, that was a tangent.
Yeah,
but like,
no,
sometimes when authors are just so wrong, it takes you out of the book.
Yeah, I mean, are you wrong? Technically, no, because it doesn't say that she doesn't have like a tube downer or something, or like,
I feel
a
like
mask on
Jacob
her.
would mention that.
I do too, but I think my medic brain just I need to stop it and just continue.
Good luck.
I'm in pain.
Need some propofol?
Well, apparently it's not helping Bella because she is jerking and whimpering in her sleep. Yeah. And both Rosalie and we're just moving on. We're moving past it. Both Rosalie and Edward moved to hover over Bella. Something must have happened that Jacob couldn't see because Emmett put himself between the two of them and told Edward not tonight, they have other things to worry about. Edward turned away and met Jacob's eyes for a moment. Jacob dropped down on all fours. Quote, I ran back into the dark forest, running to join Seth, running away from what was behind me. Worse. Yes, she was worse. End quote. End of chapter 11. So Bella's dying.
Horrifically, in a way.
Yeah, I mean, her stomach is completely like black and blue from how strong the baby is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, think about how much Edward has to restrain when he's with her, and then there is that inside her with no conception of restraint. Regular human babies hurt mothers.
Yeah, well, it's like, even at this point, it's like, how much longer does that baby need to cook for? Because Bella can't make it much longer. She about to die.
Yeah. You know where my brain is thinking right now? I unfortunately tortured my poor mother by putting my feet between her ribs a lot in utero. I have a rib out of place right now. I don't want a baby in me right now, but that'd be so nice if you could like link to your baby and be like, yo, can you like direct the kicking here and just like push this back into place, please? No.
Well, so that was the end of chapter 11.
Yeah. Things are getting interesting here.
Yeah. I have no idea what's going to happen next. This is all I've read up to. So, other than Bella's going to die, that's all I know. For a fact, right, Connie? That is what happens. She dies. She becomes a vampire somehow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
That clearly I don't know what happens. But I know that's what this whole series has been leading up to. So, I don't know what happens to the baby, but
I'm not saying anything about that. I will say, whatever you're thinking of, like how Bella ends up, not how it's actually going to go down. Everything you think is going to happen, Stephanie comes in and goes, no. And it's something else. Some of it's for the better.
okay. I don't know. I just have this fear that she's going to have the baby is so strong. Is the baby going to poof go out? Is it going to punch and then go out? Like a C-section, but like baby, like your reaction tells me no.
That would be very different. Well, certain things, the baby's strength is a problem. I will say that. I can't say anything more.
But does baby punch through Bella's stomach?
It does not punch through the belly button. No.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm imagining. That 80s movie. I think it is Alien with Sigourney Weaver, and like the alien pops out of the person's body. That is what I'm imagining. It's not that. But like the strength is it's gonna get so much worse.
Well, apparently not bad enough to where it pops through Bella's stomach.
No, but other bad things happen.
Lovely.
No.
I am so glad I've witnessed a full natural birth now, and so I can be like, this is not real.
Yeah. I'm so glad you had that before you're reading this, because if you had read this and then you had your stork call, you would have been like,
Oh, real quick, for those of you that just pop in on our Saturdays, I, at work, delivered someone else's baby. I have to specify because apparently people all of a sudden think that I had a baby. I did not have a baby.
No.
I helped bring a baby into the world.
Jess, as a paramedic in her professional capacity, delivered a baby. We're just clarifying because when I told my sister, Jess delivered a baby, my sister was like, what? And I'm like, professionally. She professionally did, not her. Yeah, I mean, Jenna was like, I was like, woo. Sorry, not trying to give you that range of emotion. Emotion.
You know, of all people to hide a pregnancy for 9 months, though,
100% you.
Except for the people that see me in every day, which is exactly what I did with
Marriage. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah.
But also not oops, because it was my choice and I wanted to do it.
Exactly. And it worked out. Yeah. People know they're married now. They sent out a card on their 1-year anniversary to say, like, hey, come have an open house with us. We got married. It was really nice. Yeah. No, I can totally see you. You will hide part of your, you will hide the pregnancy from people for a little while. I'm just assuming, though, that after Mitch, I will be the next one to know. Or
unless you're with me.
I was going to say, I might know before him.
Yeah. It might go in that order. I might be like, Connie, help me figure out how to tell.
Yeah. That's what it would be. Then that just, that's how it's going to be with me too. I will be calling you. I'll be like, hey, you want to come over and pee in a cup with me? Like moral support.
We're doing it together. Yeah. But that is normal babies.
Yeah. Normal babies. Also, I'm just thinking, like, what are the odds we both come over, we do it, and we're both pregnant?
Well, that would be a whole lot of wow.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There would be,
lots of ups and downs.
Yeah. No time soon to family that watch. We like kids.
No, not yet.
No, it's just not a good time
for
in
either
our lives
of us
right now.
Nope.
We got a little while, quite a while.
Too much up in the air.
Too much up in the air. And also, I'm just not in the physical shape to be pregnant right now. No.
Same. Well,
on that note, thank you for joining us. Now we're getting into fun stuff.
We are getting into fun stuff, and I am hoping, not assuming because it's Stephanie, I'm hoping that with how this book is ramping up, we're actually going to get to something, I was going to say good, interesting.
Yes, interesting stuff's going to happen. And then I do just have to give you the reminder that the second movie, deviates in a major way from the book, but then it goes back to the book plot.
Okay.
It works, but like
weirdly,
it's going to throw you off because it doesn't go exactly back to the original plot. Like I can't say anything yet. Okay. This is really just a multi-part series in watching me exercise restraint. Which, given how I tell Jess everything in my life,
it's hard.
This is hard.
This is not normal for us.
This is not. It's fine.
Well, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will see you either next week for our Who Knows What Wednesday or Saturday for the next however many chapters of Breaking Dawn.
Yes. And just a heads up, I don't remember if it was said in this episode because we batch record episodes and things can blur together. There may be a slight break in episodes sometime within the next month. If we have set dates for that, we will let you know. It is completely dependent on our schedules right now, which I am coming up into my midterms assessment time. It's a little chaotic for that. And over the winter break, unfortunately, a few things happen where we just were not able to get as far ahead with recording, so you might have a little bit of a break there.
Yep, and by that we mean I got sick not once, but twice.
And it wasn't just you though. Like I had the surgery, then I got sick, then you got sick, and then you got sick again.
It was so bad. We had the worst part about that was we had everything ready to go.
But girl, you were down for the count. You were sick.
I was so sick. I was so bad. It was so bad.
That was bad. And then you got better, and then you got sick again. There's been a lot of stuff that happened in our lives in the last several weeks.
Very eventful.
It's only February, but my word, between December to now, it feels like 6 months.
It does. It's been a rough month and a half.
God, for people with such boring lives, we had a lot going on.
I know, right?
Oh my God, let's go back to more boring, please. Stability? Is that too much to ask for? Yes, it is.
Apparently, yeah.
That's fine. But you do not join us for stability here. You are already aware that we are unhinged and you love it, which is why you have liked, followed, subscribed, and hit the notification bell. And if you haven't, you should.
But we will see you next time. Bye.
Adios.
Whew, we are squirrely today.
Oh my God, yeah.